Today is April 5th. You know what that means? Tomorrow is April 6th. And that's right, it's my birthday. I am turning 28, and of course, like every year, I am an Aries. And I have received quite a bit of flack for being an Aries over the years, from multiple people, in fact. Much to my surprise and chagrin. But when I first met my girlfriend, she told me, "Oh, you're so silly. You're such a goofball. It's because you're an Aries." And she also said, "Oh, it'll never work out between us because I'm a Scorpio." And I said, "You know who else is a Scorpio? That's right, Ryan Gosling." So, meant to be. Anyway, yeah, today we are looking at some old replays, not in any critical detail or anything. Just in glorious nostalgia celebration / worship, because today is well, technically tomorrow, but whatever, is the perfect excuse for it. You know, I believe more in like a birthday week kind of thing. Actually, a birthday month. Yeah, you know, I'm one of those people. And yeah, so we will enjoy the past achievements, accomplishments, pinnacles, peaks that have provided such an amazing foundation for us to move positively and productively and happily, safely into the future. That's actually true. I do not want to be the angry man anymore. I don't think I am the angry man to the extent that I used to be anyway. But yeah, definitely trying to be more zen and all that. As much as I love Charles Mingus, you know, I can't keep going down that. Actually, my buddy Roscoe is the one who gave me the nickname The Angry Man. In fact, in SPL 9, that I cost $37K, which was way too much. And he and Jirachi started calling me Angry 37. That was the name of my channel in our Discord server. Anyway, it's like, all right, guys, 37 is playing. Angry 37 is playing. Angry 37 is bringing another Sand team to Gen 5 OU. Shocker. Actually, I think I brought Rain twice, but that wasn't because I thought it was the best choice. It was because I was like, you know what, I got to mix it up for these once in a while. But usually it was Sand because Sand rules. Anyway, that is so not the point. The point is that Roscoe is also the one who nicknamed the team I'm using in the replay on the screen, which is from November 1st, 2014. I was 18 years old. Tomorrow I will have been an adult for a decade. Time to start acting like it. Yeah. So I just built this team, and I was like, hey, I'm going to use this team in Smogan Tour today. Give me some fun nicknames. So we have Kobe the Zapdos, Vontavious the Jirachi, Team Player the Swampert. That one goes back to our Wi-Fi days, actually. Starkeisha the Starmie, and then two others. There's Breloom. I think Breloom is Alonzo, I think. And then the T-Tar last. Yeah, there's Alonzo. And then the T-Tar last is named some sort of incredibly high Roman numeral, because he was like, you should name him like Bartholomew, because he started calling me Bartholomew for some reason, just because he thought it sounded funny, which it does. And he was like, name him like Bartholomew the 231st or something. So I don't remember what that Roman numeral was, but I maxed out the character limit. Anyway, and I'm versus Inflicted. This is for the later rounds of a Smogan Tour. If you've seen the video I made about that cool Cresselia team I made and used in the finals of a Smogan Tour once, this is from that same Smogan Tour. This is from like the semis or quarters or something. And Inflicted was a great player from Italy, and the team he's using was just known as Italian Offense. Yeah, good team, good team. His last is also a DD Tar, I think. Got a lot of great synergy. I think. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, there's, for the Roman numeral experts out there, there's Tar. Yeah, this was, I noticed I did a lot of my best Pokemoning when I wasn't, hyper fixated on, winning and just being as super optimal as possible. But when I was just, having fun with it, you see a lot more clearly that way. Of course, when you're in a big tournament, you can't really turn that on as much. Perspective, I'm sure you could control that with enough Zen, but yeah, there's DD Life Orb T-Tar, which rules to this day. And this was, you know how old this is? This is before Mach Punch Breloom existed. I actually started using Mach Breloom around this time, or even a few months earlier, but it had not become a metagame standard yet. I mean, it was about to, because people called and I was like, oh, this is actually amazing. But yeah, both of us are running Sub Punch Breloom in this game, which used to be the only Breloom pretty much. I mean, yeah, there were like slight exceptions, but it was pretty much always going to be Sub Punch. And actually, there really weren't exceptions, not in serious games anyway. So yeah, this was also around the time that Spec Zapdos was just the greatest thing ever. Okay, yeah, there is the DD Tar last, because of the DD Tar Super Rachi synergy. Thing of beauty. And yeah, Spec Zapdos would just delete things. You would just stand and Thunderbolt everything. Grass type comes in, Shaman, nah, never mind. In round 1 of this tournament, I played Vince 2612, who is the guy who came up with Vince Suicune, actually. The Sub Protect Calm Minds. You can trace that to a single player, actually. One of the very rare cases where that was the case. Where you can do that. And this was before he invented that Suicune set. But yeah, I remember I Thunderbolted like a Shaman switching, and he thought, oh, well, Shaman resists Specs T-Bolt, so he's going to switch out. And then he doubled it into Scizor, and it's like, nope, Zapdos just T-Bolts everything. Yeah, he was a great player, though. Very inventive. Yeah, there's the Specs HP. That's not Specs HP Ice, that's HP Flying, because you got to KO Machamp. That's why in Gen 4, when Machamp lead came around, it suddenly became either Machamp or leads that beat Machamp. Or leads that lose to Machamp, but that was really asking for trouble. Anyway, so that was when I was 18. For the game from when I was 19, this is a World Cup of Pokemon battle. And I'm against Alf, a.k.a. Dark Loic. And let me tell you, this guy was my kryptonite. No matter what metagame, I don't know if I've ever beaten him. He's the one player who I don't think I've ever beaten in a tournament. Who I've played multiple times. We played over the years. I think the first time we played was in some advanced tournament in the fall of 2012. And I think I lost to his Wish Calm Mind Fire Punch HP Grass Jirachi. And I was like, this game's going really well, up until he whipped that Rachi set out, and I was just hapless. But yeah, I was really wanted to win this one, because he just always got one over on me. And he got off to a good start, because I noticed, his Metagross switching his Magneton, which is never a good sign. So yeah, this team I'm also quite proud of. This was the world debut of Wish Mixments. That set did not exist before that. So, Wish Ments existed for sure. That's a very old set, predates even me. That's like a current gen net battle set. But it was, physically defensive. Wish Protect, Toxic Flamethrower. And I was like, hey, what if you use Wish on offensive Salamence? Crazy, right? Anyway, this is a team without Jolteon. A Spikeless Jolteon, and that turn burns me up so much, because the game is going very well, and I got ahead of myself there. I was like, oh well, what if Flygon comes in? It's like, who cares if Snorlax or Flygon come in? Losing the big picture, and I should have just T-bolted, and if that was the game right there. He just stays in because he has to make a play, but even if he doesn't, it got lost in the sauce a little bit there. It's okay, Kev, It is okay. This does not depreciate your value. You are Kenuff. Kevuff? Is that... I'm just Kev. I'm definitely going to be singing that at karaoke, though. I'm just Kev. Yeah. So, Suicune comes in, I switch out. I mean, maybe I should have stayed in, but now Jolteon gets Hydroed, and... Yeah, rough. And now I T-Bolt, because now I'm on the back foot. I mean, should have BP'd there, obviously, but shouldn't have even come to that. But now I BP, and he checks for that at least. And here's another example of getting too far ahead. I'm like, oh, well, there's no way the Snorlax switches out, right? It's going to stay in and boom. So let me just protect with the DD Tar, because protect DD Tar is really cool. Because I have a Toxic on this team, 2 Toxic grounds, and then protect on them with DD Tar and then beat them. But no, like, Flygon's healthy enough. He's still got Metagross, and even if he blows up, who cares? Should have just Rock Slided. Should have just, I don't know, doubled to... Actually, maybe not doubled. But yeah. Yeah, so this game was I always held myself back around this time, I remember, because I would doubt myself. And I won't go into the dark, deep psychological reasons behind that. But yeah, I would always, games like this would be interspersed with, me playing at my best or near my best, and then just, starting to doubt myself and making things way too difficult on myself. Yeah, very frustrating to look back at. But, we can also take the good with the bad. This is HP Grass Jolteon, because you really got to pressure Swampert here. And there's the Toxic, of course. Yeah, maybe should have Toxic there. I mean, it's a lot of time, later in the game, when you look at plays, oh, I should have done this play differently, I should have done this play differently. It's on that turn, maybe, but a lot of the time, if you really want to, figure out the better play to be making, you should look for it earlier in the game, positioning-wise. And that will make it so you don't have to make those tougher calls later in the game. Every time it's oh, well, this 50-50. Even if it is a true 50-50 later in the game, look at that Wish Pass. My God. See, there was good in this one. Even in that 50-50, even if there is a true 50-50 late game, which is rare, but even in the event that it is there, then you almost always, or just about always, can prevent it through better play earlier on. So, yeah. Nice focus punch there. Yeah, Alph was a great player. I remember he, especially in Advance, that was his go-to tier. I remember he had a lot of great games against CBB, for example. He was and Danilo, actually. He's featured in the video I made about Camera Up in Advance. He is Danilo's opponent. He had he loved those Wish Jirachis. I remember he loved Wish, Calm Mind, Reflect, Psychic. Now that is an old set, but yeah, that was yeah, he used that in a Smoke and Tour game against CBB in fall of 2013. Talk about old. And he used it in a Smogan. He used it in the SPL game against Danilo too. I mean, hey, Reflect Jirachi, great poke. That should have been a Jolteon switch, I think. I mean, I say that now. That's an unfortunate miss. I don't know if it made too much of a difference. I mean, I'm not going to say it didn't, sting, but yeah, here comes Jolt again. Also, for anyone who recognized the nicknames, anyone who has recognized the nicknames at this point is it's cool. But God, I sound like I'm 13. Oh, you are pro. You are boss for recognizing the nicknames. You are awesome. But yeah, even if you do recognize Czech, then you might not recognize where they're from, and they're from Ritual by Master's Hammer, technically a Czechoslovak metal band. They were very ahead of their time. They were the first Norwegian black metal band, despite not being from Norway. Oh, there's an unfortunate burn, getting a little, or a lot back there. Oh, dude, why did you... No, Kev, what are you doing? Oh, that was a bad move. Oh, Kev, I didn't remember getting into my head that badly, but that was... Wait, is that a banned silence? Oh, never mind. Okay, the lack of Jolteon switch earlier makes more sense now. But no, Kev, you had to keep that Metagross around. What are you doing? You know what I think? I genuinely think I might have felt bad about the burn or something. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, Kev. It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, Master's Hammer. I used to be a big metalhead. And then I turned 20 and I started listening to other genres. 20, 21, I started really branching out. Now metal, I still love it, of course, but it's not something I listen to as regularly, you know. Instead, it's more Kylie Minogue. That was my gym thing today. I should have gone for I wasn't going to beat Flygon anyway. So yeah, that was, I don't think I ever got one over on Alf. He was the one player. I've played like pretty much everyone you could name. And Alf was the one guy out of my reach. He was a great player. Very overlooked. And this was June 2015. I was 19. What was I doing that summer? Well, we just formed the band. And we were messing around there. I was chasing after this girl named Julie. Or Julia, rather. And I was like, oh, she likes me, right? Yeah, that one didn't work out. Yeah, so now we fast forward to November 2016. This is a Smogon Tour game against Soulwind for the playoffs. The previous game against Afflicted, that was a live tour. This is a playoff game in round 2. And I really was proud of this one because Oris, current gen Oris, like I fluctuated. Like generally when I played it in season in Smogon Tour, I did really well because, I didn't have any pressure or expectations for myself. And I found myself, I like this tier. It just takes some getting used to, the strategies in Pokemon. But, once you find your footing, it's great. And then I was really in a groove for a while. And then I lost it. Something got away from me there. And so I was really working hard on getting back into it. And then in this game, everything just, I found the groove again. And I used I edited an old TDK team, because he had Scarf Keldeo, I think. And I used a Scarf Latios, which was another TDK innovation. But yeah, I was looking at things I could use, and I started messing with his team. Because I liked the synergy. I liked the U-turn Rocks Jirachi. I love U-turn Rocks Jirachi. I was spamming it on these kinds of offenses all the time. I like the Double Dance Lando. Mega Gardevoir, of course, absolutely insane. I thought Specs Keldeo fit really well here, so yeah. Because Latios, Life Orb is cool and all. That was the set during the current gen. But Scarf was just... Because Latios also falters so easily against Clef, Mega Scizor, T-Tar teams, which are everywhere, so it's like, you have to use it because, Keldeo check, broken Keldeo. But, why not use a good Keldeo set yourself? So that was my logic, and I thought it wound up working out because you get more power that way, which is what you want in this kind of offensive team. And another change I made was putting Focus Blast on Keldeo, specifically so it could drop Rotom Wash. Now, this was not my patented Modest Keldeo yet, that would come years later, but even if it didn't KO the Rotom, it was fine, because I have Healing Wish, because this Jirachi set is amazing. And look at it, getting rocks in the Gardevoir. And it's Healing Wish, so I don't mind taking a Volt Switch. I just want to weaken the Rotom into range for my Double Dance Lando, which is now immediately a threat. Because, you think, it's going to be Scarf, and it just EQ, and in comes the Scarf Lando T. There's the U-turn, and in comes Keldeo. Because you think, it's going to... Wow, that did a lot. I think I was running Earth Plate? Maybe. Or like Muscle Band or something. And there's the... 2 Latios coming in, Jirachi coming in for that momentum. Again, yeah. Except I'm burned, so I probably should go right to Keldeo here. But I think I dodged the flinch. I mean, not that anyone should apologize for dodging a Jirachi Ironhead flinch. Do you apologize when your opponent misses Hypnosis? I mean, okay, in RBY it's something else, but yeah, any other gen. Anyway, besides the point. So now Lando T is Rock Polishing, and standard Scarf Lando can't really hurt it. So now it's SD'd and Rock Polished and just ready to start dropping things. Because I think that Latios is already in Stone Edge range. Yeah. And, here's the thing. I was actually hoping the Stone Edge would not crit, because if it doesn't crit, my Lando T gets another Swords Dance. The Scarf Lando was actually setup fodder for it, again. So I had to switch out there. Unlucky. But no worries, because now Mega Gardevoir comes in on... Or regular Gardevoir comes in on Draco. And now I think I double the Keldeo. Cool. Yeah, as Jirachi comes in, because just... Keldeo spam is the name of the game, and it's special defense, so just go for Secret Sword. Hit Latios harder, don't bother. I mean, Scald and everything, cool. But now I think yeah, because of Mega of Wars, Quad Resist to Fighting, that's coming in, so now it comes Jirachi. I should have stuck with a U-turn here. I remember I go for Ironhead as Keldeo comes in, because I was like, oh, what if it stays in? It's like, if it stays in, then you just, just go to... Because it's out of Keldeo range, even after U-turn, but you can sack T-Tar for Sand, which I think I wind up doing anyway. Sack T-Tar for Sand, get more chip on it, and then everything's in Keldeo range, and it'll be fine. So, yeah, here comes a Scarf Latios. Scarf for cover, just... Even if it's going to stay in, Scarf for cover. Yeah, those were the trademarks of this time I was spamming a lot. Scarf Latios, and what's it called? The Rocks U-turn Jirachi. Scarf Latios was so popular at this time, it was even carrying over into early Sun and Moon. So yeah, there T-Tar comes in just for that Sand chip, just to get it in range, and actually lives a Hyper Voice, because Solon doesn't go for a Focus Blast. And now, yeah, Keldeo's just going to clean up. Yeah, Koschei, because I don't know why, but I had the urge to name all of my Pokemon after these, Slavic gods and goddesses. And that was another thing that caught on, because I was using Koschei, the T-Tar, in multiple generations. And I was also using Perun, the Zapdos. And there's a tram stop in Prague, Berunova. And always makes me think of my trusty Zapdos. So... And also Rod, the Snorlax, which a lot of people thought was funny, because Snorlax does not look like a Rod. Very much the opposite. Yeah, November 2016. This was my first semester of college. And, God, that was a very interesting time. Yeah, I was messing around, getting into all kinds of scraps. Yeah, the year 2016, I remember for 6 months straight, I listened to the Dead Kennedys' Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables on repeat, over and over and over. I think around the time I, eased up a little bit was around the time I started school, so... Yeah, that was really something. All sorts of adventures. I had, got around this time, it leads into our last replay, which we're not really going to analyze because it's long and I actually have to get going in a few. But, yeah, November 2016, and then the final replay is April 6th, 2018. So, we played it late at night on April 5th, but the game finished, almost as the clock, a little after the clock striking midnight. So, technically, it did end on April 6th. So I was thinking about that. The game ended, and I was like, oh my god, it's my birthday. I'm 22. But it did not start that way. Yeah, so I was thinking a lot about that. Yeah, but as for the real-life backdrop, around the time of the previous game, going into this game, I had this thing with a girl, and we liked each other very much. But remember that whole thing I said about not being confident in myself in Pokemon? Well, it was very much a real-life thing, too. I would, because I liked her very, very much. She was one of my best friends, and she liked me, too. But I was like, nah, she doesn't. Nah, she's just being friend. And it's like, dude, what more do you need? But, yeah, it's a difficult situation. That still crosses my mind sometimes, as to how young and foolish I was. Yeah, so this game was the SPL finals tiebreaker, and we were down 0-1. I had to get this, and then the next day we were celebrating my birthday, and I got the text from Roscoe, in fact, that TDK had gotten frozen by ABR, and that was that. So yeah. That was unfortunate. Yeah, it really put a damper on the party I was in. Because another guy had his birthday the same as mine. So throughout college, then we would celebrate it on the same day. Yeah. Anyway, so I am actually going to wrap this up quickly. We're going to put it on super fast mode because this game was long. But yeah, I remember the tragic end to this SPL was the peak of my angry days because our team was just so bad. And I don't know how we dragged ourselves into a finals tiebreak. Well, I do know how, but yeah. And I afterwards I was really not pleased with just how terrible we were. Certain moves being made that were just driving me to absolute insanity. Yeah, so now I'm going to finish this video by giving you a bunch of movie recommendations from this year that will entice and enrich and enthrall you. So, that is, the ultimate birthday present. I recently watched a film noir from 1951 by Nicholas Ray called On Dangerous Ground, starring Robert Ryan, who I'm a big fan of. One of my favorite noirs is The Setup from 1949. I think it was a big influence on Raging Bull. And it's a 72-minute boxing noir, and it all takes place in real time. And it's really intense, because Robert Ryan plays this aging boxer against this, young hotshot, and you're really rooting for him. And you feel the impact of each punch. It takes on this existential quality. It's great stuff. I think that one's on archive.org. Oh, well, this one's not exactly obscure, but I finally watched Kiki's Delivery Service for the first time on Sunday, which my lady loves. And, I mean, of course I loved it. It was amazing. Yeah, I watched Le Choc. Forgive my French pronunciation. But I watched it because it stars Alain Delon, the coolest, the proto Ryan Gosling, and Catherine Deneuve. Yeah. And they're a little older in this one, but I thought it was really good. I found an obscure Japanese movie called Antenna from 2004. It feels like it was directed by Kiyoshi Kurosawa, but it was not. It's very much in his style, though, and that was on YouTube. I recently showed a friend of mine Brain Dead. That was wonderful. Also on YouTube. Fantastic. I'm always obsessed with Mulholland Drive. I rewatched it recently, and it has such an overwhelming emotional impact on me. Street of Shame by Mizoguchi. I really like that one. That's a heavy. I like a lot of the stuff I've seen from him. I also liked The Crucified Lovers from him this year. I saw that. And what's the other one I really liked? Crucified Lovers and I think a story. The Crucified Lovers is also known as A Story from Chikamatsu. But there was another. God, what was it? Hang on. This is gonna bug me. Life of Oharu. Yeah, that was amazing. My favorite from him is still The Story of the Last Chrysanthemums, but yeah. Versus from 2000. I was going through a lot of Japanese stuff, actually. That was, everything you want it to be. Martial arts, zombies. Beautiful. I really enjoyed this film called Clean Shaven from 1993. That was upsetting. Ozu's Tokyo Twilight from 57. It's my favorite of his. I think it beats out even Tokyo Story for me. Oh, that was... wow. Dark. Wendy and Lucy by Kelly Reichardt. That was... if you're a dog person, this one will destroy you. Don't worry, the dog doesn't die or anything, but it's distressing. Yeah, it was beautiful. And Michelle Williams, what an actor. She's like a real actor, this is a real favorite of mine recently. Night Moves from 1975 with Gene Hackman, who I think is amazing. That was just New Hollywood at its best. That's what it's all about. I also watched Kelly Reichardt's Night Moves from 2013, which I also enjoyed. But the original Night Moves by Arthur Penn, that one is maybe my highest recommendation so far. I love that one. Who is calling me? Good Lord. Give me 1 second. Okay, that is solved. Let's see. Portrait of Jenny from 1948. Proto Vertigo. Oh, it's amazing. I mean, it's really good, and then like the last act kicks in, and it's just fantastic. I liked Larissa Shepitko's Heat from 1963. No, not Michael Mann's Heat. This is 30 years prior. But yes, that was really good. I like a lot of her movies, but Wings is my favorite, one of my very favorites. I watched two very unusual movies in conjunction, or sorry, in close succession. Symbiopsychotaxiplasm, that was unique, and Wax, or the Discovery of Television Among the Bees, that was really cool. I liked Nina Menkez's Queen of Diamonds. I liked a slasher movie called Hospital Massacre, which wound up being way better than you would think a movie called Hospital Massacre would be. I liked French Connection 2 was actually quite good. I mean, it's not French Connection 1, but I liked The Dirties by Matt Johnson. Anyone who saw Blackberry, it's the same director. It's really good. I still have to see Blackberry, but The Dirties was really, really good. I really liked a Japanese film from 1968 called I, the Executioner. Look, if it's from the 60s and it's in black and white, I have like a 95% chance of loving it, if not more. I liked a Scorsese recommended noir called Crossfire from 47, starring the three Ryans, Mitchum, Ryan, and Young, I think. Yeah, Robert Young. Robert Mitchum, I mean. Night of the Hunter, you gotta see it, but yeah. I liked Post Tenebris Looks by Carlos Regadas. Let's see. Well, I saw Dirty Dancing for Valentine's Day, which is amazing. Patrick Swayze, an inspiration for my own life. I won't. I'm sorry for the French pronunciation. I will not try to say it in like a French accent, but it's Anos Amour. A space NOS space AMOURS. I'm sorry. But I will not put you through me trying to say it correctly. But yeah, that was one of my very favorites from this year. It's from '83 that I saw it this year. But Sandrine Bonnaire is incredible in it. You might know her from Agnes Varda's Vagabond, and I think she's in a Claude Chabrol film I want to see. The Ceremony, I think, with Isabelle Huppert. Sorry. I really apologize to any French viewers / listeners. But yeah, Anos Amour, that was talk about a coming-of-age movie. And another coming-of-age movie that I didn't see this year, but, December, so it's still fresh, Cold Water by Assayas. I still don't know how to say his name. Assayas? But, I love all his movies that I've seen. Irma Vep, obviously. Clouds of Sils Maria. What's the other one with Kristen Stewart? Personal Shopper is a great one. I really like Boarding Gate. That one was fantastic. Demon Lover. But Cold Water is my favorite of his. I liked Julie Dash's Daughters of the Dust. That was a really great movie. I still don't know how I like the soundtrack to it. It felt like very new agey, and it kind of fit, but I also think it might have went too far. Because I love like Enya, but it might have been. I don't know if it was fully fitting or not. But yeah, I really like that one. What else? Psycho Beach Party. That was a fun time. I finally got around to that. Godzilla vs. Hedorah. I like Godzilla -1, of course, very much. But Godzilla vs. Hedorah is from 1971. I like that one a lot. I thought it was way better than I was expecting. Because I remember I'd been disappointed by the previous Godzilla I'd seen. I forget which one it was. But I think Godzilla vs. Hedorah and I think Destroyer was also up there for me. I liked Yeast by Mary Bronstein. I thought that was, in that whole... I mean, I'm hit or miss on mumblecore. It depends, but I really... If it works, it works. And this was very much like her husband Ronald Bronstein's Frownland, which is another one of my very favorites. So I recommend both of those. I liked... Well, this one... I don't know if... this is, Okay, you know what? I'll just recommend it rather than being like, it's experimental. It's not for everyone, which, I mean, yes, but also, Too Early / Too Late by Straub and Howlett. I mean, they're French, but yeah, I really, I expected something completely impenetrable, and I wound up really liking it. You know, that tends to be the case with a lot of things I get into. I liked two films by this Georgian director. One was called Komitas, Don Ascarian, Komitas, and the other one I liked was Avetik. Both were very slow and artsy and just how I liked them. I also liked The North Bridge by Jacques Rivette, whose work I love. Someone compared it to Mulholland Drive, and well, Mulholland Drive already takes from Rivette with Celine and Julie Go Boating, which is amazing. But yeah, it wasn't dissimilar, let's say. The Girls by Mai Zetterling, I saw that in a theater this year. Loved it to death. I liked it even more the second time around. Passing Summer by Angela Schanelek. I don't know how to pronounce her name because, German, but I assume Schanelek, something like that. But yeah, it's more of the goods she brings. Places and Cities is my favorite of hers, and I want to see something. I haven't been able to track down Dreaming in Places, something like that. The Dreamed Path. That's a movie of hers that I want to see that I have not been able to find. So anyone who feels like it, hit me up. I like the original Gone in 60 Seconds from 1974 with a 40-minute car chase. That's 40. Unbelievable stuff. Dead End Drive-In, this Australian very fun movie with a great ending scene. Mother and Son and Whispering Pages, both by Sokurov Alexander, the heir apparent to Tarkovsky. I've seen like 7 of his movies, but at this point I liked them all, but these two were really the best for me. He got better over time, I think. I liked Revenge, this is the most obvious title for a movie ever, but Revenge from 1964 by Tadashi Imai. You think it's just going to be, samurai, swordplay, that kind of thing, but it wound up being way more similar to Harakiri, an all-time favorite of mine, than I expected, so I recommend that one. And of course, it brings the goods with the swordplay as well. I loved Mikey and Nicky by Elaine May. That one really, really worked for me. In fact, I think, it's in the Cassavetes style, of course, and it stars him, and Peter Falk. But I really enjoyed, I think I enjoyed it more than the 7 or so Cassavetes I've seen. Maybe A Woman Under the Influence I'd take over, but other than that, I thought it was excellent. Elaine May really had it. I liked Memories of Underdevelopment. That was a really cool movie from Tomas Gutierrez Alea. It's a Cuban film. It's kind of difficult to get a grip on, but I really wound up liking it. I liked Fox and His Friends by Rainer Werner Fassbinder, the most German name ever. He's never afraid to get really, really emotionally intense, which is just what I like. I really enjoyed a Japanese noir called Massacre Gun. Great title, great ending sequence. I enjoyed Rusty Knife. I had a Japanese noir phase. I really liked Rusty Knife too. Cruel Gun Story, that one was great. Seijun Suzuki's Youth of the Beast, that was fantastic. I realize I'm just saying fantastic, but I got a lot to get through, and I got to get going in a few minutes, so I can't really elaborate too much. Kill! From 1968, starring Tatsuya Nakadai. That's my guy right there. Directed by Kahachi Okamoto, who I love. He's most well known for a film called The Sword of Doom, which I have on Blu-ray and cannot recommend enough. I enjoyed Paul Vecchiali's... I liked The Strangler, but what I really loved was Rosa the Rose, Public Girl. That was beautiful. Extraordinary. Very touching. Highly recommended. I liked The Zone of Interest by Glazer, of course. That was... only Killers of the Flower Moon beats it for me from last year. I liked Cria Cuervos from Carlos Saura. That was really good. And I also liked the 4 movies I saw from Victor Erice. Close Your Eyes, the most recent one, The Quince Tree Sun, El Sur, or The South, and already an all-time favorite of mine, The Spirit of the Beehive. That's, I think, the best thing I've seen this year. I also really liked Big Deal on Madonna Street. That was a really fun one. A good companion to Rififi, kind of a parody. And Il Sorpasso, or The Easy Life from 1962. It's an Italian road comedy by Dino Risi. It features The Car Horn from Hell, and it has everything. I also liked Journey to Italy by Rossellini, Proto Antonioni, who I love. And One Way, I'll finish by saying One Way or Another by Elio Petri. That was a really, really great film. Oh, and I Knew Her Well, another Italian film from Antonio Pietrangeli. So, that is basically it. Oh, and Midnight Cowboy. I like Midnight Cowboy. And yeah. Okay, thank you so much for watching / listening. This I didn't intend for this video to be this long, but hey, there you go. I hope this helped you fall asleep or something. Yeah, so thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. And I will give you one more recommendation, which was which is A Drama of Jealousy and Other Things, aka the Pizza Triangle by Ettore Scola. That is wonderful. All right, thank you. See you in the next one.